So happy you were able to join us today. I am Professor Abi Gomez, and I teach at Shenandoah University. I'm a professor of art and design. And we're joined by my partner at IIUM, Zubaidah Anuar. And we have been working for several years now on developing ways to create accessible ways to collaborate internationally through virtual technology using the visual arts, which is something that I understand isn't done too often, because the visual arts are such a tangible and hands-on thing. So we have explored several different methods of collaboration and exploration, and it has sort of culminated this past year in an amazing project that allowed us to not only collaborate with our students at each university, but also with community members and people from other universities beyond IIUM and Shenandoah. Um, we're going to be walking you all through our project's website. We have some different images that connect to the work that we've done. So this particular project that we began last summer in July was instigated by a grant that BI received from UNESCO Malaysia to support this program and the project. We then got our other collaborators on board. This was also supported by the Barzinji Institute that is housed at Shenandoah, as well as community partners that we were able to collaborate with, such as Arte Libre VA, Salpad, and a few others. So, is there anything else you wanted to add to that by?
Yeah, we also have another partner, which is Dr. Atia. She has been collaborating with us, and because she's my partner um for the fund also the grant. So the UNESCO Malaysia National Commission, they gave us some money, so we thought of pursuing our or continuing our project that we have been doing in our classrooms for the past 3 semesters. So we thought, like, why don't we just take this to a bigger platform in which we don't really, in IIUM, we open it to anyone, like a volunteer work, anyone who wants to join. So I had like about 1 month to get the participants to join this project. So the participants are, some of them are not from IUM because they were interested, because they got to know about this project and they were interested. So they joined this project, and they were teachers from other schools and students from different faculties. So I think there were only like 4 or 5 students from the architecture faculty, which really focus on the art part of their studies. But the rest are students from accounting, ICT, and also from psychology. So these students are from various disciplines. So it was really interesting to see them doing this work with their partners in Shenandoah University and how they communicate with the students. So, Abby, maybe you can not work on, sorry, to explain the project overview.
Absolutely. And I'll add that similarly, the students at Shenandoah were not art students, but rather from all different disciplines, in many different programs. I had an honors seminar class that was able to participate along with other students. Our our fourth rather, collaborating partner runs a social cultural project down in Havana, Cuba. So we were able to expand this to a third country and really be inclusive and explore and test a little bit the limitations of technology and how we are able to collaborate. So we began the process by hosting several online workshops. where we found a time when our participants from Malaysia, our participants from the United States, and our participants from Cuba were able to join in an introductory seminar where we went over the plan, we went through some ice-breaking activities, and we were able to put the groups of participants into small teams where they're able to work together. And we broke the art project into two different parts. There's a sort of a two-part process to this collaboration. So part one revolved around the the idea of creating a background. So the groups or teams of students had between 3 to 5 or 6 members in each group, depending on time and availability and everything else. Once they were in those groups, they decided or they chose an SDG goal to focus on, and that came from the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. So, with their group members, they figured out what resonated with them, what they connected to strongly, and used that as the focus and as inspiration for the creation of the artwork. So the teams of students developed digital or traditional media backgrounds for the final piece of artwork. We had some guidelines and some suggestions. We offered many different applications and tools to explore and use in the creation of those backgrounds. And for example, um, Team one, the two students from Shenandoah created a background collaboratively. And in team one or group one, the two students from IIUM also created a version of their background. So we have one group, two different backgrounds inspired by the same SDG or Sustainable Development Goal. After we created those backgrounds and all of the students submitted them, if they were digital, they sent us the file. If they were created with traditional media, we photographed those and then uploaded the digital images for those as well. And this is where this cross-cultural sort of exchange component came in because we were able to access the digital files in both countries. We printed each other's students' backgrounds. So the backgrounds that were developed by the students in the United States and some from Cuba were sent to Zubaidah, who printed them out for her group. And
Yeah.
then the artwork, the backgrounds that were created by the students and participants in Malaysia, I was able to print those out for my students to work on. And our collaborator in Cuba, Joan Barrios, was able to print those out down there as well.
Yeah. So I think this is like people might be asking, is this sustainable to print on papers? Because if we want to exchange or mail those artwork, the physical artwork, that would be too much for us financially to, to mail them, like to send it using what DHL or something. It's just that it's not really uh sustainable also that way because we'll be using a lot of transportation and the carbon footprint will be higher. So it's just like, just this is like the only thing that I think that we think would be unsustainable. So I think that can be like excused and can be forgiven, right? So sorry, Abby, just to want to add that into the this part.
Yeah, no, that's a very important note. The focus of this project and the overarching goal was the idea of sustainability. So not only are we creating artworks inspired by the Sustainable Development Goals, but we also added a layer or a component that required the collaborators, the students, the artists to use recycled and found materials to develop the focal point or the imagery in the artworks themselves. So after these backgrounds were printed and exchanged, and the groups had the background that was created by their international partners, the next part of the art project was to develop what I referred to as the focal point. What is the imagery that is going to go on top of the background? What is the message that you want to send about your sustainable development goal? And we went through some exercises and workshop developing different approaches to those design ideas and going over different materials that can be used. And I think a really unique and important component of this project was the fact that we also embedded a waste audit. So we asked that every team, every group of participants weigh the materials that they chose to use to create the pieces of artwork. So we have some actual data to support the efforts and what we did. We have,
Yes.
go ahead.
I'm just showing them now. These
Yeah.
are the Google form that they have to put in the information for each group. So as you can see here, these are the calculated, and it was calculated by my partner Atia, because she's the one with the numbers. So she's good with the numbers. So and then we came up with this calculation. So the total waste used by the participants were like 2.13 kg, because the materials are very small. So that's why we don't expect like we have 21 kg of waste that we use, right? So these are based on papers and plastic and etc. So the impact is it produces 5.05 kg of carbon footprint, and which is actually equals to like driving a gasoline car for about 22 to 25 kilometer, or cooking 10 kg of rice, because rice emits like 0.5 carbon footprint per kg. So this is something that we need to highlight with the students, that whatever waste that they're using, they are not wasting it. It's turned into arts, which I think is something that not sure if anyone has done it. I've not like done any research on that, but this is something that we should also highlight when we have activities like this. And then we have yes, Abby has explained about the workshops in which the students get to communicate with each other, because they have their own time, because they need to talk, students from Shenandoah and IUM. So they had their own meetings outside of the workshop, because they have to finalize what they have to do, what materials that they need to use for the focal point, right, Abby? So then we have when we collected all the items, we put them into groups. So on this website, we can see, I can take one example from group 9, and the participants from Malaysia are here. They are Mokhtar and Rashid. So these are the background produced. Just want to give a clearer illustration of how this was done. So the background done by the student from Shenandoah University is this, and the the chosen SDG was gender equality. There were two boys and two girls in this group. The girls are from Shenandoah and the boys are from Malaysia. So we have here from Malaysia, and everything that they did, they had to come up with some writing to explain what what is the story behind the background, or what is the story behind the final product. So we don't want them to just produce something without being able to explain the things that they have, the artwork that they have come up with. So here we have the students submitting also their write-up about the background. And then this is the finished artwork. Right. Still beautiful, isn't it? And then even with the final, artwork, they also have to have some write-up about what it means, right? So I don't want this to be just a presentation between Abigail and I. I hope that Mokhtar and Rashid are here. Mokhtar and Rashid, are you here? Can you unmute yourself and
Yes,
show
Doctor.
us your handsome faces? Can't see you guys. Where are you? Okay, there you are. That is Mokhtar and that is Rashid. You guys are somewhere on campus or at home. I'm not sure because
Um,
now they have to come back because next week is our first day of semester already. So we're starting our semester in IUM. So Rashid and Mokhtar, maybe you can explain to us um your experience in doing this thing. Have you done arts before, and what you felt about going through this experience of putting something like this? Whoever. Rashid?
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. First of all, thank you, Dr. Zubaidah, for this opportunity, and then Prof. Abby. Hi, good morning and good evening to my Malaysian lecturers. Yeah. So I can say my experience was out of my beyond my expectation because I was thinking like this is the waste to wow art. So basically creating an art from waste, but what I get is more than that. Just not art. I managed to collaborate with students outside of Malaysia with the different languages. Other than English, also I have my Arab friends, so we speak one language, and in the same team, and we plan together to produce this kind of art. Just imagine, four of us, we come with multiple ideas, and then finally we finalize with these specific ideas. So for me, I do have a specific uh, experience in art because I used to do this kind of thing when I was back home in Sabah, Borneo. So as you can see on the right side of this art, the border is actually I can say it's art specifically from my state, which is Sabah or Borneo. You know it as a Borneo. Same goes to the earrings of the lady or the figures of the lady. And while the swirl of the yarn is an idea from Mukhtar and me. And then we do have the egg from egg plastic cover, the flower on the top right and the top left, and then those two flowers on the left bottom is from a plastic. We just do groceries and then we get this plastic. I said, Mukhtar, don't throw it. We can take it and we can transfer to art. And I think that's all from me. And as again, thank you so much for the opportunity. It's a huge impact to me, my knowledge and my experience. So I think Mukhtar, can you share your experience?
Yes, Mokhtar?
Hi everyone. Good morning. Hi, Professor Abigail. Hi, good morning for the US people and the evening for Malaysian. I would like to speak, like, give just a short speech from my side because, mashallah, I should cover everything. Actually, based on my experience, I had, mashallah, one of the best experience that I have been working with like international people while I'm also in Malaysia, and we are working with some people like abroad, which is in US, Cuba, and we have this kind of how to say project that we work together on it, and we come out with so many ideas. As you can see, our like partners from US, they create a very beautiful how to say very beautiful art, which is looks so good. And also Prof. Abdi, she was here before in Malaysia, and she have a look at our beautiful art that have been done by me and Rashid. And most of the audience, that's nice. They like it actually because of the way that we like organize it, the way we try to make sure it's like showing a very nice picture of what exactly we are focusing on, which is SDG. 5, which is gender equality. And in the same times, like showing from the art, you can like understand what exactly we want to show. And I think that's all for me. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity, Dr. Zubaida.
Thank you,
And
Mokhtar. Thank you,
nice to see
Rashid.
you, all of you again. Thank you.
Thank you. So yeah, that is the feedback from the students. Of course, we had feedback form for all the participants to fill out, but it's just that it's good to have the 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 information from the students themselves. So here, not only that they have to do this, they also have to collaborate in making a video. Right. So I would like to show a video. Just take the example from group 9, not because they're the best, the many good ones, just that since they are willing to come and join us tonight. So I'm just going to share this one. I hope it's okay. It's only about 41 seconds. Let's see. Can you hear the sound? No sound? Mm. It's okay. You can just watch the video. Not sure how to do this. Yeah, so sorry about the sound though. I don't know why. Anyway, it's just that it's really interesting to see how students can actually collaborate to get together, although they are across the world, like like across the globe, like they did not meet, but they could produce something beautiful like this with their ideas when after they discuss. So not only that, we also have the not only the visual exhibition which we exhibit on our website. We also have the exhibition. Let me just move this thing. There's a lot of things going on here. Okay, the physical exhibition in Malaysia. I know that Abby will have the physical exhibition in Shenandoah University on the in March 13, 17. My memory is so bad right now. It's 10 o'clock or maybe almost 11. So the physical exhibition is when we had everyone, including Abby, because she was here. So we had the opportunity to meet. Sorry, because the picture is a bit blurry. This is the only picture that we had with all of us. Not sure why, but we had all the participants, almost all of the participants, and the exhibition is there. I think the students will also agree that by doing this exhibition, they feel like their artwork is being appreciated. And we had this exhibition exhibition exhibited not only during that night but also throughout the 1 month in our gallery. We have a gallery here in our main office in the main building, so a lot of people came, and I asked them if they, there's a slot where they have to take a picture of themselves and submit the pictures, their selfies, to the form. So the exhibition is not only visited by the students in IUM, but also from the international delegates from the OIC universities. This is because they were there for meetings. This is the people there and also the bosses. So this is the exhibition where we put all the artwork. All right, and the exhibition in SU will be officiated in March, and we'll have pictures of that also here. So we have the feedback from the students and have put them together and extract the key themes. They believe that with the questions, what have you learned from the exhibition? Yeah, what they have learned, that they have learned about recycling and reusing waste, and they have learned about environmental awareness and sustainability. These are from the visitors, yeah, from the visitors. And then they also learn more about sustainable development goals, and they learn that art as a medium for awareness and education, because students in IUM, they're not really exposed to arts like this. So when we have something that is open for everyone to join, this is something that they can use as a platform for them to, to show their creativity. And it is also, I believe, some of them believe that it is a way for them to release their tension, like, to unwind with the arts. It's something that I plan to do more with my friends here, because Abigail, you have really opened my eyes that, using arts, we can do a lot of things. Okay. Anyway, so, and arts as innovation, creativity, culture, and social representation. And I hope later we will share this website link with you guys so you can read the extract from what they have said. Yeah, there's a lot of it's rich data here that I have, and I think Abigail will come up with a lot of papers from this. Oops, Abigail only? No, it's just Abigail and me. Okay, and then we have the participants here. Oh, I have shown you this one just now. Yeah, we put up their pictures together. These are the pictures that they sent to us when they registered for this program. You still remember your pictures, the pictures you sent to us, guys? So let me see. Yeah, those were the pictures that you sent. What you order and what you get, Mokta and Rashid. Okay. So, what else do you want to share? How long do we have left?
We want to
Mm,
allow a little bit of time for Q&A, but I'd say
okay.
you all could talk for another 5 or 10 minutes and we'll still have plenty of time because it's
Okay.
an
So, Abby,
hour webinar.
do you want? Okay. I also like to mention our committee members. These are the students who work hard, because this is not like three people's work. It involves a lot of students. And these are the students from UNESCO Club, from Amina Mahala, which is our residential area, and the other students representative from that residential area. And then also students from, yeah, from the two groups, right? So it's really, really, they work hard until the end. They were the students who maintain the website, adding pictures, helping me with the printing, and also during the exhibition and ordering food and stuff. This is not one man show, it's a whole community show that we put up there. And we also have here in our website the workshop materials, what we do with the students. So we want to make sure that when we give the workshop, we have to give clear instruction or guidance, because we don't meet them physically like in Malaysia, because they were all doing it during the school break. Yeah, I mean, I think it was during the semester's break. So they only came to me once they get back to submit the work, or no, to get the background from me, the printed background from me. That were like the only time. That was the only time I met them first time. And then they also came to me to get the materials, the glue, and the what else did I give you guys? Mm,
And
the
the
stuff.
background. Yeah.
Yeah, the background and the glue and the other things. And then they came to me to weigh the materials, because they don't have the weighing machine. So I had a weighing machine put on my desk. So every time they want to weigh before they put the materials, the waste on the artwork, the background, they have to weigh it first, not after they have done it. So that is how we did the waste audit. So it's the same thing that Abigail did that. So we just want to make sure that they really appreciate waste. It's not like, waste you just throw, but waste that you can turn into arts, beautiful arts. So you can also see other virtual exhibition group work from other students here, from the other groups. So they have beautiful art pieces, and I have them now, planning to exhibit them in the library after this. You guys are exhibiting it in the library? All right. Well, beside this one, we also have the mural project. This is the extension of the Waste to Wow project. And it was interesting because it was not really last minute, because we had another group to do this project. So Abby, I asked a few students to volunteer from my class, and they communicate with students from Shenandoah, Abigail's students. So they came up with a design for this mural. And the same mural, Abby, I think I'll let you talk about the mural. Sorry.
Sure. Yeah, like we mentioned in the beginning, we've been working together for about 2 years, exploring different ways to be able to collaborate effectively using the visual arts. And one of our, I think it was an early idea that we had, was this concept of a mural. And we were finally able to implement it this past fall with our groups of students. I had some volunteers. I had one of my classes, Foundations of Art and Design, participate in the US for this project. And we let these students working collaboratively really decide, dictate, design what this project would look like. And I think it was during one of our group meetings where we were joining each other on Zoom between the two countries, where the students suggested that we have not only our original idea was to have two murals that were co-designed by our students existing at both universities or in both countries. And the students suggested that maybe instead of having the same mural in two different locations, we have half of a mural starting at IIUM and the second half of that mural at Shenandoah. So that is sort of the project, the concept that we went with, and it's almost finished. We haven't quite finished the mural in at Shenandoah yet, but the project to date has been incredibly successful. And our plan is once both images are finished to be able to showcase through, again, the leveraging technology to be able to show and to see both murals in both spaces. And we're going to be working with some AR students, augmented reality students, at Shenandoah to be able to put that together. So the idea is that if you're in Malaysia on IIUM campus, you'll be able to scan a code and also see the second half of the mural that exists at Shenandoah. And if you're at Shenandoah, you'll be able to scan a code and actually see the second half of that mural that exists at IIUM. So we're really pushing the limits to explore what we can do in this collaborative visual art based kind of realm.
So as Abby was telling you guys, I was showing a video that we did. So yeah, you can see that. Who's this? What's his name?
Buzzy, the mascot.
Buzzy. So we have Buzzy here. Thank you, Abby, for Buzzy, because you left me with Buzzy. So he has been here, right? She like been with me in my office. So I took him there to take picture with the done mural. So I look forward for the finished bridge from Shenandoah University so we can have the art thing going on. So I think that's it. That's it for our presentation. And we're so happy to have students from both countries to collaborate. And Abby and I we are looking forward to another project. We don't know what yet. I think we're gonna make this into a book, all these artwork that we're gonna make, we turn it to a book in which we can probably publish and maybe write some essays or research papers on this one. So open to any question now. Just gonna stop sharing. Where is it?
Yeah, thank you so much. We'll take questions. You can feel free to raise your hand or unmute yourself or also put them in the chat. Nada and I are looking at the chat.
I know there was an earlier question about who were the participants or who were the institutions that
Yeah, how many institutions?
in the
Yeah.
project. And so it was Shenandoah, IIUM. What was the other university in Malaysia that
Oh,
had
it's a school. It's a school.
school?
teacher from school. Yeah.
Okay.
One school in Gombak. Yeah.
And then, of course, we had our partners in Havana, Cuba, who came from Proyectongo, which is the social cultural project down there. And we also had community members and participants in Virginia who were connected through Arte Libre VA, which is an arts nonprofit here in the northern Shenandoah Valley of Virginia. So this expanded beyond classroom walls and really involved a more holistic and really broad range of participants. And I also wanted to mention that we worked with not only students but also other professors, staff people, faculty members, as well as the community members.
And there's a question here about how the universities chose each other. So I can take that one, or at least the first part of that question. So IIUM and Shenandoah originally entered in a relationship as part of the Barzinji project, which was intended to honor the legacy of Jamal Barzinji. Nada, if you want to put like a link to our Barzinji Institute in the chat. There were a couple of schools in Virginia and IIUM, and then also the University of Sarajevo in Bosnia and Herzegovina involved in this project. And there was a lot of in-person collaboration. And during the pandemic, we moved online to do virtual exchange or COIL. So now we do a mix of in-person and virtual partnerships. So that was how the institutions were originally connected. And the Barzinji Project is now an endowed institute. Yunus Mirza is the director, and then I do a lot of the COIL training and facilitation with that. I'm also with the Office of Global Engagement. So that was how they originally chose each other institutionally. And Abi and Bai, if you want to talk a little bit about how you two got partnered up.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. It was I was the first. I mean, I think I joined COIL first, and then I had to change partner for some reason. Then Eunice just connected me with Abigail, and then we just click. I think because she does art for a job, and I do arts for my hobby. So I was like, oh, I think that is like the common thing that we have. So we just turn something that we're passionate about into this project. So, and I'm so glad that Abby is my partner because she has taught me a lot about arts. And yeah, that's, I think, if you want to add anything else, Abby.
Yeah, it was kismet. It was very much fate or fortuitous that we were partnered together. When I first participated as a COIL fellow, I also originally was partnered with somebody else, and we had communication issues and some timing issues. So Eunice mentioned, "Hey, I have somebody else from IIUM who also is looking for a partner." And yeah, just instantly we connected. I think we work really well together. The way
Yeah.
brains work is very similar.
It's
Um,
just that's chemistry, I think. I think is the chemistry is really important. If you don't have that, it will be difficult to work in. And yeah, chemistry, that's it, right, Abby? I think it's very important to really communicate and give time to communicate with your partner. If you don't have that, it will be something that is a hinder. Like you cannot work collaboratively online like this if you cannot give time for each other. And I think there's one question from Mary Shaw asking about how did the university choose? Okay, and
Yeah,
how
that
long
was the
was
one
the
we just
project?
answered. So the next
Yeah,
question was
how long was the project? I think the
what's that?
project was done. The project was done for 1 month. Like the duration for the students were given. We gave the students 1 month to work on the project. It's not something that they work in 2 weeks. Like we really we gave them the time to really find what they really want to do, and it has to be agreed by their partners over there. So that is the answer. And one more question: SDG, which SDG was the most popular? I think is the clean water and sanitation. Yeah, clean water and sanitation. What other question? I can't see other questions, so
I have
think
a
I asked.
question.
Oh, okay.
This is such a wonderful connection. I was recommended by the person that I collaborate with, the University of Siena, and I had honestly never heard of your project. I am fascinated by it. Congratulations, Abby, and congratulations, Zita. Am I saying this the right way? Ziti?
City.
City.
Yeah.
My class, I'm a lawyer, and I teach law at the university where I teach, but I was allowed to create this magnificent, guess which one I love, course called Yes, I Can. And it's what the arts do for persons with disabilities, exceptionalities. I have a huge background teaching deaf children to dance. It's a long story. How do I become involved with this? Abby, you're smiling.
Yeah, no, I will put my email in the chat for anybody who might want to reach out. But I would love to connect and collaborate and really explore what we can do. I find it really interesting, and would love to learn more, Lois, about the work that you do, with those special needs communities as well. That's something that I also do through my nonprofit here in the community. And I love the opportunity and the idea of expanding, like I mentioned before, outside of the classroom walls, because the more that we can collaborate and connect and support each other, I think the stronger our communities become. And such a great experience for all of the participants and the students. And then, Elena, I don't know if you have any upcoming COIL fellowship trainings or anything like that, but and I'm not sure what the parameters are for that process either. But I
We
think
do.
option.
I'm glad you mentioned that, Avi. So we going back to, I guess, the first question about how these institutions got involved. As part of this Barzinji Institute, we do offer COIL faculty training. I mean, there are several institutions, at least around the US, that do COIL workshops for faculty, and we're one of them. It started with just these Barzinji member institutions, and we've expanded so anybody can join. And we offer to partner you with somebody. We can't always guarantee we'll get somebody in your exact right discipline, your region of expertise or anything, but we do have a small network where we can pair you, just like we paired Abi and Siti. And we have a 4-session workshop. And if you complete the workshop, you can apply for funding to travel for conferences and things like that. And you basically join our Shenandoah COIL network or family, as we like to call it. Eunice and I are both very big on family and that concept of family. And I think one of our like COIL brands is that, we try to keep things like close knit. And as our colleague at IIUM, Mira, says with COIL, you can never have too many friends. So, this could be one of several COIL workshops you do. You can have multiple COIL partners. Sometimes partners work out, sometimes they don't. But the important thing is to keep trying and get tools. So I can put my email in the chat if
Yes.
anybody's interested in the COIL workshop. We don't have the exact dates yet, but we will be doing one later this year. We usually do like 1 or 2 per year.
I would like to add something on the inclusivity. My partner Atia and I, we are working on arts for Braille, using Braille. So these are for the blind students. So it's
Yes.
trying. He has already have a project, turning books to Braille, and she asked me if I can include arts and Braille together. I've seen. I'm doing some research on how Braille is put on arts, and I'm still trying to figure out. And once I got it, then I'll have some proposal done for this project.
That's
Yeah.
wonderful.
Yeah. I also wanted to add, that between the disciplines that you mentioned, Elena, I also have collaborated with a professor from a university in Jordan with another class on a different project. And thus far, with my two partners, we do not teach in the same discipline. And I find that to be even more exciting. I
Yes.
know, other artists, other art professors and teaching artists are always phenomenal to work with, but I have really, really enjoyed collaborating interdisciplinarily. So I think that that's one of the gifts or one of the really special aspects of the COIL partnership program.
And I think I might have won the COIL Interdisciplinary Prize because, in addition to my work with the Office of Global Engagement, I'm also a music history professor at Shenandoah. And I did my COIL with a veterinary science professor from Sarajevo. So we paired an animal blood pathology course with a history of popular music course. So do
Wow.
not think that you have to be with somebody from your discipline.
Yeah,
is
I forgot
wonderful.
to inform that I'm actually an English teacher here, so yeah, not in arts, but teach language. That's why you see a lot of the students work. They have to come up with something that you have to explain, to write, and so yep. So to just include the language part there.
And if you do a COIL workshop either at Shenandoah University or somewhere else, you'll get the tools for how to deal with things like interdisciplinary assignments and also assessing assignments and how you would grade your students, how your partner would grade your students. So yeah, that's what these workshops do is they give you the tools and um, Abby and Bai, maybe you could speak briefly about maybe your advice to people who might want to get started with something like this. When you were describing your project, it seemed like there were so many different moving parts with folks in Cuba and then your two institutions and you're seasoned COIL experts now, but like what would you say for people who just want to get started with this type of thing?
Yeah, I think the easiest entry point would be to participate in the COIL Fellowship training, because that gave me all of the tools necessary. And now I have a model, knowing that if I were to encounter or connect with another professor somewhere in the world at another university, I can connect them through COIL and we could collaborate in a really effective way and also have that support. I think any of these projects are things that can be done and executed just through relationships and connections, but having that sort of structural or institutional support for these types of programs has been really, really impactful. And I think has empowered me anyway. I won't speak for Bai, but it has empowered me to feel confident to develop these partnerships and kind of move forward with these concepts, where before I might have had an idea or a dream and not really have had the tools or wouldn't have known what to do to take those next steps.
Well, I think Abigail has said everything. And if you really want to join it, you really have to spend some time because the time zone difference is a challenge. To be trained at late night is not something that everybody can do. But if you are really interested, then you can do it. Yeah, and then to get a really good partner is another thing. You have to work it out if you really want to do something that I think I can say this is a successful COIL COIL partnership that I have with Abigail. And I'm so glad that I was introduced to her and we work. I think now we're friends, right, Abby? Like we can be bestie.
We're besties, yes.
I have not shared the video that I made based on our uh, time in Malaysia, so never mind about that. Another webinar. So
Yeah.
I have one question, just one last question. Did the student get credit for participating in the project? Yes, they did. The students, they get the star point and they got the certificate, which they can, can tell their future employer that, I participated in an international collaboration project like
Yeah.
this. So
And the
it,
fact, sorry to interrupt.
it
But the fact that we were able to also host exhibitions of these collaborative pieces of artwork is something that is incredibly important if you are an artist, an art student. Exhibition record is sort of what we do in our professional field instead of publication. It's exhibition. So even if, again, these students aren't artists, they're not going into a fine arts focused career or anything like that, they still have this wonderful experience to be able to share on their CVs and their resumes that they actually participated in this international collaboration and they have had a piece of their artwork exhibited in the United States and in Malaysia and in Cuba. Um, so finding all of those ways that the benefits really multiply has been something that's been not necessarily the original intended goal, but one of these beautiful things that has come from the collaboration.
All right, I think we might have time for one last question if there are any other questions for Siti. I think, oh, somebody asked if the IIUM students got academic credit for participation.
For this one, it's not the academic credit, but it's for the co-curriculum credit. Yeah, because we have the co-curriculum credit, which they can collect star point for this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And our participants in Cuba are not in an academic program, but they participated, I think, primarily for this international experience to be able to have exhibited some of their artwork in different countries as well. And then the participants from the community and also the collaborating professors and staff members, I think, did it for the fun of it and for the experience. They weren't forced to do it for credit or anything, but they got to do it, and I think really took their time on breaks outside of class, outside of their jobs and careers to participate, which was, I think, very encouraging. And I think it speaks to the power of the opportunity as well.
Yeah, and COIL can be flexible if some academic programs or schools have very rigid curriculums where they might not receive credit. That's okay. It's just kind of up to the individual instructor how or if students are graded or receive credit. So it can definitely be flexible. So we're almost at the hour. Thank you so much, Bai and Abi, for sharing your wonderful project. As a music historian, I love seeing more arts with virtual exchange and especially interdisciplinary work. And yeah, if anybody wants to get in touch with us, I think Abi put her email in the chat. I'll put my email one more time. And if you have Yunus Mirza's email, you can also reach out to him for questions about COIL. And yeah, I think we'll go ahead and wrap up here. And thank you everyone for joining us, and just reach out to any of us if you have any questions or would like to continue the conversation. So have a good weekend, everyone.
Thank you. It was so good to see you, Mukhtar and
Thank
Rashid.
you. Thank you, Zati. Thank you,
Bye.
Mokhtar.